Most people think trust is something you feel. They think trust is warmth, comfort, and chemistry. But trust is not a feeling. Trust is a structure. And if you don't understand that, you will spend your life trusting the wrong people for the right reasons. You will trust people who smile. You will trust people who speak softly. You will trust people who act humble. You will trust people who tell you what you want to hear. And then one day, you will discover something painful. They were never trustworthy. They were simply skilled. This episode is about one page that changes how you trust people. Not by making you paranoid, not by making you cold, but by making you awake. Because the most expensive mistake in life is not losing money. It is trusting someone who quietly rewrites your reality. And once that happens, you don't just lose resources. You lose your sense of judgment. You lose your ability to read people. You lose your confidence. You start doubting your own instincts. You become easy to manipulate again. That is why this episode matters. Because trust is the foundation of relationships, business, marriage, and leadership. And if you trust wrong, everything collapses slowly. Welcome to Sethtra Books. Subscribe if you want knowledge that makes you calmer, sharper, and harder to control. Not louder, just clearer. And now we begin. Because the first book is not a strategy book, it is a social microscope. The first book is The Makioka Sisters by Junichiro Tanizaki. The novel is quiet and elegant, but beneath that gentleness is something brutal. It shows how families perform trust, how people hide motives inside politeness, how loyalty can exist alongside manipulation, how love can exist alongside control. The Makioka Sisters is about a family trying to preserve dignity during a changing era. And that is where trust becomes complicated. Because when the world changes, people become strategic. They become protective. They become image-driven. And when people become image-driven, trust becomes a performance. Tanizaki teaches a lesson most people don't want to accept. A person can be kind and still be calculating. A person can be polite and still be dangerous. A person can be loyal and still be controlling. The real world scene is modern. A family smiles in public. They laugh. They celebrate. But inside they compete. They judge. They punish silently. They manipulate through shame. Tanizaki shows how trust can be damaged, not by betrayal, but by pressure. Pressure to conform. Pressure to marry. Pressure to behave. Pressure to keep the family image intact. The mirror moment is painful. Many people think they were betrayed by one person. But the truth is, they were betrayed by a system of expectations. The upgrade rule is to watch patterns, not words. Trust is not built by what someone says once. Trust is built by what someone repeats. And now we go to the second book, because the next book is not about relationships. It is about political trust. The second book is The Federalist Papers by Hamilton, Madison, and Jay. Most people think politics is about ideology, but politics is about human nature. The Federalist Papers is one of the greatest documents ever written about why trust must be designed, not assumed. These essays were written to persuade Americans to adopt the Constitution, but beneath that, they reveal something deeper. They reveal that even good people cannot be fully trusted with power, because humans change when they gain control. That is why systems matter. Checks and balances, separation of powers, accountability. The Federalist Papers teaches that trust without structure is naive, and structure without trust becomes tyranny, so the genius is balance. This book changes how you trust people because it teaches one of the most important rules of life. You don't trust someone because they are good. You trust someone because there is a system that prevents them from becoming dangerous. The real world scene is business. You trust a partner, but do you have contracts? Do you have clear roles? Do you have transparency? Do you have accountability? Or are you trusting emotions? The mirror moment is sharp. Many people get betrayed because they trusted someone's personality instead of building a structure. The upgrade rule is to trust with design, not with hope. And now we go to the third book, because the next book is personal. It is not about nations. It is about the most important trust relationship in your entire life. Marriage. The third book is Wife 2.0 by Von Piseth. This book is not about romantic fantasy. It is about partnership architecture. Because most marriages fail not because of hatred. They fail because of misaligned trust. One person trusts emotionally. One person trusts logically. One person trusts through sacrifice. One person trusts through freedom. One person trusts through control. And when those trust languages clash, the relationship becomes a battlefield. Wife 2.0 teaches that a strong woman is not someone who dominates. A strong woman is someone who builds stability, grace, standards, boundaries, emotional intelligence. The book explores how trust is not built by constant agreement. Trust is built by consistency, by character, by private loyalty, by being safe in conflict. This is the page that changes how you trust people, because it teaches that love is not proof of trust. Love is emotion. Trust is behavior. The real world scene is common. A man says he loves his wife, but he lies. He hides money. He disrespects her in small ways. A woman says she loves her husband, but she shames him. She controls him. She punishes him emotionally. The mirror moment is deep. Many people confuse attraction with trust. They confuse chemistry with safety. They confuse romance with loyalty. The upgrade rule is to measure trust by patterns, not by promises. And now we go to the fourth book, because the next book reveals the moral foundation of trust. The fourth book is Mencius by Mencius. Mencius believed humans are naturally good, that inside people there is a moral seed, a seed of compassion, a seed of shame, a seed of respect, a seed of right and wrong. And if you nurture that seed, a person becomes noble. This is a beautiful idea. But it is also dangerous, because many people read Mencius and become naive. They assume everyone has the same moral seed. They assume everyone will feel guilt. They assume everyone will feel shame. But the deeper lesson of Mencius is not naive trust. It is moral testing. Mencius teaches that you can read a person by what they protect, by what they sacrifice, by what they are willing to lose for righteousness. The real world scene is modern. A person says they are loyal, but when money is offered, they change. A person says they are kind, but when status is threatened, they become cruel. Mencius teaches that the moral seed is revealed under pressure. The mirror moment is sharp. Many people trust someone because they are calm, but calm is not morality. Calm can be emptiness. Calm can be calculation. The upgrade rule is to test trust with small pressure before big trust is given. And now we go to the fifth book, because the next book reveals trust through war, through loyalty, through betrayal, through honor. The fifth book is the tale of the Heike. This is one of Japan's greatest epics, a story of rise and fall, a story of clans, a story of power, a story of loyalty, a story of betrayal. The Heike teaches one brutal truth. In times of peace, trust looks easy. In times of war, trust becomes visible. Because war exposes character. People reveal who they are when survival is on the line. The tale of the Heike shows how loyalty is often conditional, how alliances shift, how friends become enemies, how honor is tested. The real-world scene is business. A company is doing well. Everyone is loyal. Then a crisis arrives. Money drops, pressure rises, and suddenly you see who is real. The mirror moment is painful. Many people only discover the truth about someone after disaster, after loss, after conflict, after money problems. The upgrade rule is to observe people during stress. That is where trust becomes real. And now we go to the sixth book, because the next book is about the architecture of society. And society is the largest trust machine. The sixth book is The Republic by Plato. Plato teaches that society is built on stories, myths, education, values, rules. And whoever controls those controls, trust. This book changes how you trust people because it teaches that many people are not thinking independently. They are repeating the beliefs of their environment, their religion, their media, their culture, their family, their school, their algorithm. Plato's cave is the most famous metaphor for this. People watch shadows. They call it truth. And when someone tries to show them the sun, they get angry. This means trust is not only personal, trust is cultural. You may trust someone because they share your values. But do they share your values because they are wise? Or because they were trained? The real-world scene is modern. Two people believe the same thing. But one believes it through thought. One believes it through fear. Plato teaches that trust must be built on understanding, not shared illusions. The mirror moment is deep. Many people trust crowds, but crowds are often blind. The upgrade rule is to trust truth, not popularity. And now the final book closes the circle, because the last book reveals the darkest truth about trust. Trust is not destroyed only by betrayal. Trust is destroyed by strategy. The seventh book is Stratagems of the Warring States. This is an ancient Chinese text filled with political persuasion, deception, alliances, manipulation, and psychological warfare. It reveals how people gain trust, not by being good, but by being convincing. It teaches that persuasion is often stronger than truth. It teaches that alliances are often temporary. It teaches that people will swear loyalty while planning betrayal. This is uncomfortable, but it is necessary, because if you don't understand strategic behavior, you will trust too easily. The real-world scene is politics, business, corporate life, friend groups, even families. People form alliances, they flatter, they promise, they perform loyalty. But behind the performance they calculate. The mirror moment is sharp. Many people think trust is broken when someone lies. But trust is often broken long before the lie. Trust is broken when someone starts using you as a piece on their board. The upgrade rule is to trust slowly, to trust with structure, to trust with observation, to trust with testing. Now look at what these 7 books truly form. Tanizaki teaches trust as performance in families. The Federalist Papers teaches trust as structure in nations. Wife 2.0 teaches trust as behavior in marriage. Mencius teaches trust as morality under pressure. The Tale of the Heike teaches trust as loyalty in crisis. Plato teaches trust as truth versus illusion. The Warring States Stratagems teaches trust as persuasion and strategy. This is the page that changes how you trust people. Because once you see this pattern, you stop trusting too fast. You stop trusting too emotionally. You stop trusting because someone feels familiar. You start trusting because someone is consistent, because someone is accountable, because someone is stable under pressure. And here is the final open loop. Most people think trust is about avoiding betrayal, but the next episode will reveal something even deeper. The psychology of why people betray in the first place. Not because they are evil, because of something even more dangerous. Their identity. Stay quiet. Read deeper. Build differently. This is Sethtra Books.